Hey guys! So based on the website feedback from last time, I've made some changes to the way that the site looks, and now we're ready for version 2 to be reviewed. So I know that we had talked about kind of going live with the website, so by the time you see this, the site may already be published, but we'll see how that goes. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how this is going to be different this time around. We are going to use the feedback tool like we did last time, but you'll also have access to another preview that will show you the difference between desktop, tablet, and phone screens on the site. And so the reason for that is that the last time this feedback bar being here kind of changed things up, and it made the browser show the tablet version of the website instead of the desktop version. So things were looking very different on your screen than they were supposed to look on a computer. And so I'm going to give you the link to this feedback tool so you can still use it. But you'll also have a link to this guy here. And what this does is it shows you the website in all its forms, from desktop to tablet to phone screen. And you can kind of see how that works. And refresh this here and we'll see that original page. Okay, so you can see as we go down here, this is the desktop version, this guy is the tablet version, and then this is our phone version. And you can see each one independently. When you click on a different page, all three of them will load that page so you can see it side by side. Okay, so you're going to have access to this as well as the feedback tool, and that should kind of help you be able to see the differences on different layouts. It's actually kind of cool. They shift around based on what kind of device you're looking at the site with. Okay, so this coming soon page that I've made for you guys as just kind of a temporary thing when it gets published while the rest of the site is still being reviewed and under construction. And you can see I got this text from your Instagram post, so it should be, good text to use on there. And then I didn't want to put a menu on this page because obviously if it goes live, we don't want people to be able to click through and access the real site. So for right now, what I've done is added this little button here, and that will take you to the full website. And if we end up publishing this before you guys get a chance to review it, I'm going to leave that in there. But if we publish this page and you guys have, taken a look at everything, you won't need this anymore, and I'll get rid of that. But for now, we're going to click on that, and that will take you to the rest of the site. So when you're taking a look at it, you can click on that button as well, and that will take you to the full site. Okay, so we have this header up here, and I've made a lot of changes. We have this new text style here. We have the logo mark, and then of course, the photo in the background. And so we'll scroll down here, and one of the biggest pieces of feedback was that everything just had a little bit too much white space. So I wanted to still give it that expansive feeling, but also show off some of the photography pieces that you guys do, since really that's what you guys are famous for, is what great work you do. So I wanted to go ahead and add these kind of photo elements everywhere. We have these guys, and then again we have the logo breakdown. Down here we have this guy here. We have a little text piece that slides in from the side talking about who you guys are as a team. And then we have these fun little offset text and photo elements. And since this one is the destination photography section, I wanted to include a photo from another destination other than the kind of more desert theme here, just to kind of show that yes, you guys actually are traveling to these different exotic destinations. And so then we also have the little logo mark here that I've kind of used almost as like a stamp, and you'll see that throughout the website as well. I've also added these color blocking elements to the background to give it just a little bit more of a kind of craft feeling. We're all putting this together and it's got a very personal kind of a touch to it. It also makes the photos kind of stand out a little more. And then we have this nice photo bar down here at the bottom just to kind of give a little bit more personality to the site. And you'll see that I've changed up the CTAs on every page. We don't have any of the mustard colored ones with the more block text. We have the same text styling and that same cream color in the background for each one. Okay, and then now footer. And I know that you guys had some questions about the footer, about how it might look on mobile, and about maybe it feeling a little too blocky. So I wanted to show you guys what that looks like so you can take a look at it. Okay, so here it is on desktop, and like I said, for these previews, they don't always show the Instagram widget just because of the fact that it's a preview and not the actual site. And then as we scroll down on the tablet version, you can see it takes up a larger portion of the screen. Same thing with the phone version as well. So the reason that it's so narrow on the desktop is actually for a couple of different reasons, but primarily it's because studies have shown that if you have text that goes too far across the screen, it's a lot more difficult for your viewers to actually read it. And so we want it to be nice and narrow so that it's easy for them to go from one line to the next to the next. We don't want them to stop reading or to use a lot of eye strain to try and get through our text here. So I wanted to keep it narrow and really user-friendly. But feeling like it's still too blocky, we can do a few different changes to it. We can either make it a 2-column layout where we have a small column here and another column there, just to kind of break things up. We can also change the background color, but that of course is going to have a bit more of a I guess a bit less of a contrast between the text and the background, and so it might just be a little bit more difficult to read. So let me know how you guys want to handle this, if you want to keep it the way it is, or if you want to do something else to make it a little bit easier. Okay, so that's it for the home page. We're going to skip the services page for now, and I'm going to talk about that in a second, but let's go ahead and check out the destination photography page. Okay, so you can see we have some fun offset elements again, having these things kind of overlap. We have these nice text blocks, and then we also have some client images as well. I wanted to give a good sampling of things that looked like product photography and things that look like something a little bit more service-oriented, like Janae's ones, for example, just to kind of show that you have a diverse range of clients and a diverse range of content that you create. So then you can see we have the logo down here, upcoming photography destinations. And for this section, right now, we just have this little coming soon bar, but my thought is that when we have destinations set up, that it can look something like a blog where you have a photo for each destination along with a little write-up next to it saying, where the destination is and what clients it might be a good fit for. So that's my thought when you guys have the photography destinations, but for right now, we're just going to leave that with a coming soon bar. Okay, and so there's 2 different styles of testimonials that I've used throughout the site. This is one of them. I think this is really fun because we actually have the photo that you guys created in the background there, but we still have the text nice and readable, and then we have these kind of fun rotated text elements off to the side. And I noticed that in the feedback stuff that you guys left that there was a question about these client love hashtags. And whether it might be better to use something that's a little bit more on brand and a little bit more kind of adventure-y. So my thought with that is that using the hashtag client love I think will resonate better with your target audience simply because they're not as comfortable and they don't have as much expertise in the social media realm. So hashtag client love is a really obvious one that pretty much anybody who's been on Instagram has seen. So I think that that will make more sense to your clients just because they don't have as much expertise as you guys do. So my recommendation would be to keep that, but if you'd like, we can definitely change it. Just let me know. Okay, and then I've created an articles page for you guys with all of the posts that you created before on the previous website. My question with this was whether or not we were going to be using Pinterest to enhance your blog as well in the future. Because if we are, then what I've done is created these Pinterest-sized graphics that can go along with each blog entry or each article. And then that way we those in your Pinterest strategy. But if we're not planning on doing that, or if you just don't like the look of having photos here on the article page, then I can get rid of these. And then it'll look pretty much the same as your previous article section on your last website. But for now, we have these placeholder images just to kind of show you where they might go if you did decide to use them. And then we have another CTA there. And let's take a look at what these blog posts look like. They pretty much look the same as your previous blog posts, but just to kind of show you a few differences, you can see we still have this little section here. We have all these pieces. Okay, And so for some reason in the preview screen, this is showing 3 separate social widgets, but there's actually just one. It might just be because I'm logged in. But for some reason it's showing up as 3, and really it should just be 1. So hopefully on your end you'll see it that way. But I'm going to take a look at that, see if I can't figure it out. Okay, so here are the changes that I made to the blog. This guy here, I've obviously changed out the name to be Ethos instead of Creative Co. And my thought with this is that if we can separate it out by author, then that gives you guys more freedom in the future if you did want to have guest blog articles or things like that. Then it kind of just gives you this little space to add their contact information, which is really great for SEO because it creates those backlinks. Okay, so that's it for the articles, and then on to the About Us section, which is actually probably my favorite out of all the pages that we have on the website. We have a lot of heart going into this page, and so yeah, that's pretty cool. So we have this nice text offset again. I did the logo mark to go on there, but not feeling so blocky like it was before. I had that really awesome photo that you guys took that I thought worked well with this. And then as we scroll down, you can see we have the tagline there, kind of recenter and remind people what it is that your brand is all about. And then down here, we have another one of these sections with our story text, as well as this background image and the really fun photo of you guys with that little logo stamp there. Okay, and then you can see we have the logo breakdown for the team. We have each of your photos here side by side, and then CTA at the bottom. And I did want to talk about this guy here because on desktop we can put all 3 of you on the same row. But when it comes to how that page displays on tablet screens and phone screens, unfortunately it just doesn't really fit having all 3 of you on the same row. So let's see if this will load. Okay. It's loading slowly, but I think we got it. There we go. Okay, so you can see we have all these different elements. But then as we scroll down here, there's just not enough room to have all 3 next to each other. So on tablet screens, we have 2 columns and then 1 column down here. And then on phone screens, it's just 1 column. So you'll see each person one after the other. Okay, and so that's what that looks like, and unfortunately, that does mean that we're not going to have all 3 of you on the same row, except for on the desktop version. Okay, and then we have the contact page here. Okay, so this guy is our contact page. You can see I've used that same kind of offset photo element, and I've kept it to black and white to make sure that people really see this as kind of the important stuff, and we're keeping that simple, just having them go ahead and email you guys. And then I also added these social links because that's kind of the point. You guys do run social media accounts, and that's a big part of what your brand stands for. All right, so that's all we have to go over. So you'll be receiving all this stuff in an email like always. Access to the feedback tool, you'll have access to that desktop and mobile comparison page so you can see what everything looks like. I would recommend going through that and taking a look at how the different elements interact based on different screen sizes, because it does change quite a bit. You'll see photo orders change like that. So let me know what you guys think using that feedback tool, and I can make any changes before we go live with the full version of the site. And otherwise, I will talk to you all on Monday. Thank you.